What is up, sexy people of the internet? It is Dave, it is Duncan, back from Metal Epidemic for another album review. For this review, Duncan and I have been checking out the new release from industrial hardcore band King Yosef. The band's new album, Spire of Fear, will be released on August 15th via Bleakhouse. Initially earning acclaim as a hip-hop producer, Portland, Oregon-based auteur, I know I'm not sure how you pronounce this guy's name. I've read it about 4 times and I still don't know. So spelled Tayves.
Tayves. Davies.
I don't. It just doesn't sound right. I don't know. We'll just call him Mr. Yosef. He has been self-releasing music under the King Yosef name since 2017. Having worked with some of the most notorious rappers of the 2010s, he founded the King Yosef solo project as a space in which to explore his other musical obsessions. As King Yosef, Pelletier has been gradually perfecting a searing brand of industrialized hardcore that marries electronic and metallic elements in stunning fashion and sees catharsis through deeply personal lyrics. The passion and intensity have been on display since from the very start, expressed through a slew of self-release music, including a collaborative album with Youth Code in 2023, Breakthrough, an Underlying Hum. But within the past 2 years, a transition has occurred. The intensity has ramped up sharply. Without a manager or booking agent, Pelletier transformed King Yosef from a bedroom project into a formidable live act, dominating stages across the globe. In the wake of an Underlying Hum's release, King Yosef completed North American tours with Converge and Health, then ventured to Australia, Japan, Europe, and the UK. Now, in the summer of 2025, Spire of Fear marks the next chapter. Spire of Fear is the album that shows King Yosef to have progressed from a mere project to a full-fledged, full-time commitment. Where an Underlying Hum dug into his own personal story, Spire of Fear looks beyond the self toward broader human experience. Zooming out of the context of your own life, you realise that things have gone on before you and will go on after. So as long as you can face something head on and move through it, you're probably going to be alright, and the path shows itself from there. Spire of Fear is influenced by Portland because I am inspired by my friends, he states. Between the time you spend together hanging out, going to each other's shows, or being at the studio when each of us record, it's sort of an all bleeds together into this amazing thing that creates a sound for where we're at. Portland's DIY scene is consistently growing and transforming into the best version of itself I've seen since moving here 10 years ago. Written, produced, and performed by Mr. Yosef, Spire of Fear was recorded and mixed at the legendary God City studio with long-time King Yosef collaborators Kurt Ballou and Zach Weeks.
Jesus Christ.
The album was then mastered by Mr. Alan Douches. So, King Yosef. I can't remember if I sent you a single or you sent me a single. I can't remember. We checked out a single anyway, and we're pretty much both instantly interested to hear more of this.
It was like Starship Troopers. Would you like to know more? And I was like, yes, I would like to know more.
So that led us to adding this one to the review pile to check out. But hadn't heard anything previously. This was like the introduction to King Yosef. So, what did you think? What did you make of Spire of Fear?
You know when you hear something and you're like, give me all that you have of that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I will take it all. Like, please give me it all. And you know what? Please don't water it down. Just see how it is right now is how I want it delivered. I just want more of it like that. A fool would have said that. We never said that, Dave.
Foolish.
It's a foolish thing to say because who just wants an album of just one great thing, right? Where is the dynamicism of that? Yeah. It's not there. There. Selfishly, I wanted the whole binner. Like I wanted that whole song for 40 minutes. And there's a reason why I don't get sometimes. There's a reason why I don't produce albums, and there's a reason why I'm not in charge of a record label, because that's the wrong approach. Yeah, King Yosef is the real fucking deal for me. It is the promise of the track we heard, not only delivered long form, but with surprising twists and turns throughout the runtime. Yes, it's industrial. Yes, it's hardcore. Yes, it's fucking doomy as fuck and gloomy. There's also a lot of shoegaze in there, because 2025, and if your band doesn't have shoegaze in it, are you even a band? Do you even play, bro? That's the question I would say. You even write music, bro? I don't know why I'm calling everyone bro, but bro with it. Yeah, like, to me, the first listen to this was foolishly while traveling. I'm on a train early in the morning. I was like, let's Yosef this bitch up. Headphones went on, and I got about 3 songs in it, and I could feel myself, like, I could feel that the person sitting opposite me was very uncomfortable. It's because I hadn't blinked for like 12 minutes. I was just like, just staring right through their fucking eyes, through their head, and then through their soul, just like unable to blink, Dave. And then I blinked. So I had to stop. I was like, that, not today, Satan. We're just going to put that aside. And a bit of wham on there, wake me up before you go. And then I listened to, actually, funnily enough, that night. So we're talking, this was the last week, like that bitch in, and listened to it nighttime. Also didn't work at nighttime for me. It's too intense for nighttime listening. I was like, where can we find a space for the King Yosef sound? Actually, it was on Saturday, of all places, when I had a bit of time on myself. I was like, you know what? Good headphones on. Let's delve into this. Let's hear what we have here. And what we have here is, at times, a bit of an oddity, but in the best possible way. At its core, it is no different from, if you've listened to slightly older, like Author and Punisher, it has that quality of just very abrasive, distorted production and pummeling industrial percussion, like almost offensively punishing, right? And those at times are the more prominent elements. It's like what the drums are doing and what the kind of synth sims are doing overtake guitar parts by quite a bit in the way they're produced. At times the guitar will be a little bit more present and a little bit more playful. At times, like, the cleaner aspects are not always handled by the synths, or handled by guitar, and that's really quite welcoming. And vocally, this is wall of sound, isn't it? Like, you get this as fully sounded, almost monosyllabic, monotone delivery of just pure venom. Once again, harken to something like an Author and Punisher, or maybe even to an extent like an LLNN, but without the levels, just more kind of focused in. Where the album really fucking shines is its choice and positioning of songs. Because this would be overbearing if it was just all this all the way through, which is why my original statement was fucking stupid. What they do is, like, cleverly weaving things that don't necessarily, they might end up in the same place, but they don't always begin in the same place. And that came to, like, quick prominence on track 3, Glimmer, which is this beautiful, very clean, spacey guitar part. It still sounds ominous as fuck, but it's spacey though. And that first showed me that there's an extra level here. There's a layer here which, are we using it just for the song? Are we going to do it elsewhere? And then before you get hit with Vi Coactus, I think that's how you pronounce that. Who knows? It sounds Latin. You get a track like Lickin', which is the one that comes after it, which has almost a 9 Inch Nails opening with these kind of very slow kind of build-ups of drums and layered synths and guitar sims, and these haunting, almost kind of choral vocals in the background, which, like, evoke the Spire like this kind of weird, ominous, almost black metal-esque church.
A Spire of Fear.
It's the Spire. You know what it is? The Spire of Fear, Dave. Also looks like the Scott Monument in Edinburgh. So, just going to say to the band, if you ever make your way to Edinburgh, visit the Scott Monument, because it's kind of what it looks like from that angle. But like I try like looking, for example, like gives you this feel of it can be abrasive, but like melody can hang through this. But like just when you think you've kind of got a grasp of it, that's where the band flips it. The back half of this album, from track 6 onwards, is just fucking mind blowing. And that's not to diminish the front half. Like Doomtown kicks in with kind of almost drum and bass like licks at the beginning, and then he full on like Ministry style percussive section, which just really just hammers in, like, and almost reminded me a little bit of American Head Charge, like early American Head Charge, how they used to like incorporate some of that industrial in there. You get tracks like Wither, which once again are really playful with Simscape. So when we get more of a feel of kind of shoegaze, and this is where I'm like I don't read the press, so to me this is a band. I didn't realise this is one dude, and that's even more remarkable. And also the fact he comes from a hip hop background. What's about hip hop people that come to alternative music? Like Gallows is the same. You listen to that early Gallows stuff, and I'm sorry, it's almost unlistenable for me. And then I listen to the stuff that he does as Gallows, and I'm like, this is the shit. Just do this shit. Like there's so much mix up here that you really are kept going. Like Atmosphere for fucking days, like Simscapes for days. Blue Morning, fucking beautiful track, like just genuinely jaw-droppingly beautiful. And then like this album, it's fucking like harmonica or like violin or something on Walter. It's like a down on the farm. It's like the beginning of fucking Little House on the Prairie. It's like this sample loop which he uses at the beginning before building like a kind of like a Deftones song around it, which fucking brain matter everywhere. The title track, Spire of Fear, I mean, it's terrifying. Let's be honest. Like, with good headphones on, like you are looking over your shoulder, like all the time. It reminded me a little bit of if Reptile by Nine Inch Nails was covered by Author and Punisher. It's kind of what it'd sound like. And then the album finishes with Everything's Point of Origin, which is this, once again, like heavily industrial. It kind of brings everything in, actually. There's little guitars make an appearance back in there, and it ends with just crashing waves of synthy distortion to close out the album. The production on this is like, it's cut below, so what we're doing here. Production is fucking great. It is like so close to the red all the way through it, but never touching. It's like it's kind of like swinging in front. It's like, not gonna touch you, not gonna touch you. Like you're like, quit hitting yourself. It's like it's so abrasive without being unlistenable. It is unbelievable, and you only get that from people that have been involved with bands like Converge. It's the only way you're ever going to capture that sound. It is so full. It is so fucking nasty. It is so cold. But those moments of shoegaze are warm as fuck. The balance is ridiculous on this. Like in terms of composition across this, there is so much variety and so much switch up for one guy. That's the bit that's kind of blowing me. And like when I say blowing me, I mean blowing me away. It's the bit that's right in my dick. It's kind of blowing me away, and it's making me kind of. I'm going to reassess my score now because of that. Because I had a score, but I'm going to change that score now because I know that. And once again, this is why I don't do the press thing. I wait to hear. Just really, really well done. Really well done across the board. I think the cool thing about this year, the cool thing about last year is industrial music it's not having a renaissance, but it's been really grabbed kind of by the scruff of the neck and brought in and kind of used in really, really interesting ways. It's either fully delivering the stuff that we've listened to earlier this year with bands like Sure, which are kind of leaning at that kind of more pop, like industrial aesthetic. We've already been teased with it by darker bands like LLNN spring to mind, certainly for sure, how the way that they kind of incorporate and use it. King Yosef are utilising it the same way as, and I mentioned Author and Punisher, and I'm going to mention them again, the same way Author and Punisher do with their sound, where it is delivered for kind of like maximum impact, but not to the detriment of really good songwriting. It's not just a case of making distortion. It's a case of making a backbone for something that feels present and heavy, and that's all over here. I think the vocal dexterity that's shown across this is, once again, it's kind of mind blowing. Like there's levels to these vocals, not only that aggressive industrial roar that he has. But whether it's the choral stuff that's kind of brought in here, or even the shoegazy kind of weird, like almost Lynchian, unsettling melody that's kind of brought in, is all across this album, and it's all handled incredibly well. And also, to its credit, it sticks the fucking landing. This album comes in under 40 minutes without really announcing anything that I could disagree with or pick apart. It is a remarkable album, like one of these ones where I've been waiting for something like this to show up for me, to be honest with you. Like every year for the last couple of years, we've had that big dystopian fucking like 2 fingers up to the world, watch it burn, like everything's fucked and we're all just gonna live through it before we end ourselves album. And Spire of Fear is that album for me this year thus far. It is really, 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 really fucking, like really, really fucking good. And better than just that track that I heard. And that's why having that one song play out for 40 minutes would be a stupid idea in hindsight. It needs the levels that are here. I want more of this. I like want more. I want to see it live. I want to be in it. Like ball deep in it. I want the t-shirt only if it has Spire of Fear on it. This is fucking absolutely awesome. This is, without you even sending this to me, I imagine there was a part of you that was like, it's more likely going to be a Duncan album. And yes, Dave, this is 100% a Duncan album. This has end of year potential for me. That's how much I'm in on it.
Ooh.
So, yes. So, go for it, Dave.
Okay.
Top that 17 minutes of bullshit.
Okay, I'll try. Yeah, I mean, like, same as you, I'd never heard of King Yosef before until we'd heard that single, but it has, like, albums going back to, like, 2017. And, like, a lot of those are more on the industrial side. Like, some of them don't have, like, any metal on them at all. But I didn't listen to those releases until after I'd actually heard this. And if I'm totally honest, when I heard the first single, that Molting Fear that we checked out, I kind of like yourself figured I knew how this was going to play out. I was like, all right, okay, not a problem.
We've done this dance before.
Yeah, I'll gather my thoughts on this very quickly. And after my first listen to the album, I was like, okay, this is not a like couple of listens and move on type album. This is going to require, a little time to think it over. It's going to
require the good headphones, Dave.
It's going to require the beautiful South, Duncan. It's going to require.
In the back, this could be anywhere but Rome. And you're like, no, this is the Spire of Fear, not Rotterdam. Fuck off, beautiful South.
This did not go how I expected. This went fucking like the stages of Dave listening to this album were stage 1, oh yes, filthy, give me more of that, yes. Stage 2, oh, I think I might have just shit myself there. Stage 3, all right, that's interesting. And
surely stage 3 is change yourself.
No.
I like the fact you're like, no, we're
sticking with it.
Literally sticking with it.
Stage 3, this is kind of sexy. Stage 4, what the fuck is happening here? Stage 5, right, I'm need to go right back to the start and listen to this again because I don't know what the fuck I just listened to. And like, it starts off in a very visceral way. Like we've mentioned the single Molten Fear. After you get over the intro, it's like the first track, and it is dark, it is heavy, it is a dissonant beast of a track. Just like incredibly raw, incredibly hostile, and just kind of straddles this industrial weight with metallic hardcore. Like it's a barn burner. It's like a set the tone type track.
Yeah, if one of those robots from Pacific Rim was walking in every step they took, played like industrial metal, that's kind of the sound of Molten Fear.
For sure.
It's just like fucking ominous. Fuck.
Yeah. I don't think it was until like I had it in my ears, I had the good headphones on, and I was like, when this kind of like kicked in, and I got into like 2 or 3 tracks into the album, was like, the sound design on this album is fucking
insane.
Nuts. Like
insane.
This is like unbelievable. It's severe, but like it has this mechanical, like the industrial parts, and we have this mechanical coldness to it that just makes it so oppressive. It's really quite overwhelming at first, but I found as the album continued, I started to kind of adjust to that. And I was just like, production wise, I was just hella impressed. Like Kurt and Zach at God City, unreal. Like take a bow.
This is Kurt.
Gentlemen.
This is like I'm more surprised when Kurt Ballou does like Beast Milk. And I'm like that. The Converge guy did Beast Milk.
Yeah.
This doesn't like this is what this guy was born to fucking do.
Absolutely.
Right? You want to give me all the dissonance in the world? I will handle that and will make it work.
Yep. Perfect. Like absolutely perfect. And production mastering from Alan Douches as well. Ugh. Killer job. This is one for the big sexy headphones, ladies and gents. It just sounds right.
Also,
so
can you imagine this through a PA system?
I cannot, Duncan. I cannot.
I don't wear ear protectors. Like I famously don't wear ear protectors because I'm invincible, Dave. But I would like if we were to go and see King Yosef live, I would probably wear ear protectors because I'm scared that I would be deaf. I would be useless. You'd be like, "What did you think of this album?" I'd be like that. Couldn't you hear it, Dave?
What?
4?
Yeah, but like sound wise, incredible. And then we were into Glimmer, which, as you said, kind of hints at this kind of like something of a wider kind of spectrum, something a bit more haunting. And that lasts for about a minute, and then these huge industrial drums just come pounding into the album, all layered up with like menacing background electronics and sounds, and it's like you said, it's like an army of like Transformers just marching over the top of you. And the track kind of weaves in and out of that like crushing weight, and this kind of lighter, more ethereal side that you're not quite sure what to make of yet. You're like, where is this going? Like, what is happening here? But before you have any time to overthink it, Vicoctus basically sideswipes you like a battering ram, and you're just like, oh my fucking god, and you're back into that. And again, like it's just a really clever balance of heavy industrial mechanics. I got a bit of kind of like Godflesh, definitely Author and Punisher, but with this kind of like Code Orange meets kind of Nails, kind of ugliness to it. That kind of like underneath kind of era, kind of Code Orange. We also get a little touch of that kind of dreamy kind of soundscape on the intro of Lycan, which is like kind of like, you know, it's Deftones adjacent, but maybe even more on the Crosses side of things, possibly.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
And it's like it's just for about a minute again before the track branches off into that like stomping industrial territory again. And the industrial sounds on that track might have been my favourite. They were fucking unbelievable. There's a kind of groove section in the middle which is just unreal, like just futuristic and dystopian and just heavily warped and just an incredible weight to the track. But by this point I was like, okay, so they've touched on this kind of lighter stuff a few times now. I'm thinking this must be leading somewhere. Like I had a hunch that something was going to happen. And then the second half of the album, King Yosef really like start to explore that territory, because, and they've already done the groundwork, which is the clever thing here. The first half of the album is like gradually kind of feeding it in. So when it comes in full, it's not a huge surprise. It totally works when they get to like Wither and Blue Morning and Walter. it plays a much more substantial part in the overall flow and the style of the track, and it sounds incredible. Have that kind of echoing melody and more atmospheric sound just opens up this album in a completely different way. Like, it's showing even more dynamics and a different side to the band. They even start using some like strings and different guitar tones. But also, because the first half of the album is so intense, you're almost like, I felt like I was kind of craving it. Like, I was like, they're teasing this, and I want it now, and like, I want that kind of something slower and more absorbing. So it hits you at the perfect time of the album. And like, I was getting like little bits of like Portishead and like Massive Attack, mentioned Crosses as well. But it's such like a really clever like kind of mood switch on the album, and it's exactly what the album needed to stop it becoming like just too overwhelming.
Yeah.
However, if you think the album is going to go quietly, then think again, because the title track is, again, like heavy kind of Code Orange vibe, but with even more kind of industrial appeal to it. And I mean, like, I'd say this album is like a riff heavy focused album. The riffs are there, but not in a, this is the like principal feature of our music.
Industrial music. That's
it's like another layer,
music.
Basically.
Yeah. Industrial music, the guitars, like, it wasn't until you got to bands like Ministry to an extent, but Nine Inch Nails are the ones where guitar became like, a guitar can have melody as opposed to just being like bang, 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 you know, like, all right.
But yeah, the title track, I'd say the title track relies on them a little bit more, like kind of like Molten Fear does. There's blast beats, there's like glitchy electronic, there's grooves, there's chunky breakdowns, and that industrial side is just like monolithic on that track. The last track, though, I need to talk about the last track. The last track. The last track, for me, it goes slightly off-piste, but like in a really good way.
You know what it's like? Remember Slipknot's debut album? Remember when you listen to like a track like Scissors and you're like, how did we end up here? Like, it's like all the fucking weird fucked up sounds, and it sounds like someone's dropped up like a tray cutlery, and you're like, but for whatever reason, like about a minute in it, you're like, you just feel like everything's fucking wrong in the world and you don't want to listen to it anymore. Everything's point of origin. That's the first minute. Like,
loved it. This track is awesome. Like, I was getting like kind of Nine Inch Nails vibes in the drum and bass. It's very percussive. There's some really nice kind of retro kind of 80s sounds going on as well. Then out of nowhere, there's this like fucking big like white zombie riff comes in that's like fucking a la like Thunderkiss 65, just like comes out of nowhere. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, to be honest. Like, this is how you close an album. It goes all in, like 2.5 minutes of just crushing industrial metallic hardcore. It is like incredible finish. This is a sonic boom of an album. Like, and I kept waiting for like that moment where I was like, right, they're going to drop the ball any minute now. Like, something's going to come in and be like, that doesn't work. But it never happened. Like, it just never happened. Like, I was blown away with this. I thought this was fantastic. Like, obviously musically and vocally is great. The production should be used to treat erectile dysfunction, because this is like an instant boner maker, this album. Like, the sound of this is ridiculous, man.
How would you describe the sound of this album? Viagra.
That's basically
Blue Chew is how I would describe this here.
Musically is just as good. Like, crushing, intense, dynamic, and totally absorbing. I love hardcore. We know this. Industrial, I'm like kind of off and on.
I think you like industrial more. I'm
liking it more. I'm getting more into
it. You to industrial in the last couple of years is me to death metal in the last couple of years.
Right,
where we've found our groove. We've found the niche that we like, and when it's delivered to us, we're like, everything should just be this.
Yeah, this hits the spot perfectly for me. The blend here is just so good. Like, what more needs to be said, really? Scores. Let's go to the scores for King Yosef and the brand new album. I mean, do we even need to debate this? Spire of Fear, what are you thinking?
Right, so like I said, like, I had a grade, and then you told me it was one person, and then that grade went up. So I'm coming in at a 5.5. Now, I know that grade doesn't technically exist, right? but I kind of feel like I had that grade when I thought there was like 3 or 4 people involved with this,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel like I know we can't make an exception. We have a hard stop at 5. I'm just noting that even if the graphic says 5,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is there's a 0.55. No, this is like when I said this is end of year material for me, this is end of year material for me, and this follows the great tradition that we have of, and it is, you go back every year, there's an album that is on me and Dave's end of year list, which is like, it's so like devoid of any sort of light and happiness.
Yeah.
It is almost impossible to recommend to people, and that is this year's album, Spire of Fear, which I fucking adore this. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
And one dude, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is the author. And I keep coming back to author and Punisher, but that's how I kind of. Industrial music tends to be what like one main predominant writer because you can figure around all that stuff and make sounds up. But the fact that you get so much from this and the songwriting is just, it's fucking great. 5, Dave, hit the explosion. If you've not already, you probably did it earlier when I said 5.5, but
one word, flawless. It's a 5. Like, check this album out, please. Someone listen to this album. Spire of Fear, King Yosef, out on August 15th on Bleakhouse.
T-shirt with the album artwork. Please. Like, if you haven't already shoved it in a black T-shirt, please shove it in a black T-shirt and then direct me to the place that I can purchase.
Check these guys out. Check out the links to the band, pre-order one of the singles. I'll stick in Molten Fear as one of the singles I've released, but like, just be prepared for way more after that track. Like, it doesn't even
Don't
prepare
do
you.
a Duncan where you get to the. Well, I'm going to say Dave's in that boat as well. Don't do a Dave and Duncan where you listen to a track and you're like, oh yes, I know where this is going. You know nothing.
You
You
do not.
know shit.
You do not. Check this one out. That is the review. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with another review very soon. But till then, take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye everyone.